Rachel Runyan was a 3-year-old blonde-haired little girl living in Sunset, Utah, with her mum Elaine and dad Jeff, 5-year-old brother Justin, and 18-month-old brother Nate. It was on the 26th of August 1982, Rachel and her brothers begged her mum Elaine to play in the playground, literally a matter of yards from the house. Although she had doubts, the fact that a new gate had been put on the entrance and the fact that she could still watch them from the house persuaded her to allow them to play by themselves while she went inside to make some lunch. The next thing Elaine knew is when Justin charged into the house in a panic, saying Rachel had been taken by a man into a blue car. What had transpired was that the 3 siblings were playing along with a 10-year-old in the playground when a strange man walked up to them and started to make a conversation. To the children, he seemed friendly, and he asked if Rachel would like an ice cream from the local shop, Bobco's. It seemed the children went towards the man when all of a sudden he grabbed little Rachel and forcing her into the car before driving away, as Justin, Nate and the other 10-year-old looked on. Justin described the car as a blue 4-door with wood grain stripes. The kidnapper was described as a black man, about 20 to 30 and about 6 foot tall. 24 days later, Rachel's body had been found, hands and feet tied, and partially submerged in a creek in Morgan County, which is about 20 miles away from the playground she was abducted from. Even with the description of the killer, including the vehicle, also a $20,000 reward for information leading to an arrest, nothing came of any tips that came through. 2.5 years later, a message scrawled on the wall of a bathroom of the local laundromat was discovered. This is what the message said: "Beware, I'm still at large. I killed the little Runyan girl. Remember, beware." It was signed with an upside-down crucifix with 666. This led the investigators to believe that the killer was involved with a satanic cult, and Rachel was a victim of a ritualistic killing. Opinions of the time were that they could also have been for something called a snuff movie, which are highly disturbing videos of torture, sexual abuse and murder, often sold and watched by the lowest form of society. Nowadays, it would be something that the dark web would contain. These are the clothes that Rachel was wearing that day. Although police made a composite drawing of what 5-year-old Justin and the 10-year-old boy described at the time, Justin for years remembered the composite wasn't quite right. He remembered that in actual fact that the man was lighter skinned, more of a dark brown complexion, including a gap in the middle of his moustache. The picture on the left is the composite that had been shown for years. The drawing on the right is the newly updated one. A new lead for the new person of interest was someone local, due to the fact they knew about the Bobco's, which is a place that only a person from the community would know about. The person of interest did drive a car of a similar description and had a history of abusing children. The chief of police are in the midst of obtaining DNA to see if that person of interest is the killer. Rachel's mum, Elaine Runyan, was determined not to let another family go through what she had to. She channeled her grief into educating families and children on the dangers of abduction and crimes against children and youth. She was the driving force for establishing Missing Children of Utah, which is a non-for-profit organisation, where she later became president for many years. Elaine was also involved in the implementation of the Amber Alert, which was formerly the Rachel Runyan Alert. To this day, Rachel's mum holds memorials for her daughter, still actively involved with keeping Rachel's name out there and educating families. Please like and subscribe for more content.